Today in this module we're going to be talking about the basic introduction to quantitative research goals, as well as an overview of the sampling process and why that's important for you to consider whenever you're going into starting your research projects. So jumping right into it, we're going to first go over the quant research goals as well, and then following that we'll go into sampling. So generally speaking, the main goal behind quantitative research is to provide a generalizability from a sample to a larger population. This is in contrast to other types of research like qualitative research, which focuses on individual stories and really understanding the intricacies of those stories. So quantitative research focuses on generalizability to a larger population. Generally speaking, you're looking for patterns that can be attributed to that large population that are in the sample. This is done through the careful measurement of various aspects of the sample population, both through different types of self-report measures as well as physiological measures. There's a variety of different things that you can look at. Largely in the social sciences, we focus on self-report measures or general Likert type scales where you answer questions like how much do you agree with a statement on a scale of 1 through 7 or something along those lines. But that's how it's done. You give people these measures and then they respond to them either online or paper pencil, and then you then use your statistical techniques to make inferences from those measures. In quantitative research, the researcher, him or herself, needs generally is as detached as possible from the research taking process. The researcher needs to be precise and analytical rather than deeply involved in the process and creating meaning with the participants themselves, which is unlike some other forms of research. So the researcher is apart from the data collection process. They are separated, so they can then attempt as much as possible to reduce the amount of error that is put into their measurements, either by their actions or by random chance. So that is, generally speaking, why people try to create the distance between the researcher and the process, is to reduce that error. So this is a great process, and I like doing it. Hopefully you can learn how to do it as well. It's rather difficult. There's a lot of things you need to consider. And the first of those things is sampling. Now, we sample because we generally can't get at the larger population as a whole. So it's too expensive, too time consuming to go out and ask the larger population of, like the population of a country or something, how much they like to buy this certain type of soda pop or whatever. So we sample from that larger population, and to make our inferences from that sample valid, we want the sample to look like the larger population as much as possible. The only true type of sample that is completely generalizable in social science research, such as this, is a random sample that is taken from the target population itself. So you take an entire target population, such as the population of a country, and then you have random digit dialing to get people's phones or something along those lines, or every person within the target population has an equal chance of being a part of the sample. So that's the whole idea of a random sample, and that is the only sample that is truly generalizable. However, that is often cost prohibitive to get. So we usually in academic social science research, as horrible as it is to the generalizability of our studies, take volunteers, mostly college students. So it's important to have a generalizable sample, but it is not done all the time. So we in an academic setting, we have subject pools, so when people take classes, they have to for extra credit or part of the class, they then have to volunteer to participate in different studies. There's a variety of different ways that you can get volunteers. We use college students and offer them extra credit or class participation points. You could get random people like we're doing for this class on our sample size to go and volunteer to take the survey. You can offer some sort of incentive like an Amazon gift card and a random drawing or something along those lines as well. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go out and get volunteers to be part of your sample that can make it, and you want to make sure that those volunteers are at least somewhat generalizable to your larger population, that there's some similarities between the target population that you're looking at and the sample that you have. So that is a very rough overview of the basic goals of quantitative research and sampling. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask below in the self-post. And as a discussion question for this module, I would like you to think about and perhaps share what your target population is that in any sort of quantitative research project that you are pursuing or would like to pursue, and how you plan or go about thinking about going to sample that larger population, how you're going to get that sample. So I will create a comment in the self-post regarding that discussion question. Please feel free to answer it there. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next module.